The Trump White House is vowing to stand up for some 300 American families caught in the cross currents of international tensions between the U.S. and China.
Yeah, the issue is adoptions. It's coming to a head just as President Trump is set to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping.
Here's Newsmax Chief Washington Correspondent James Rosen with a story and answers from the White House you're not going to see anywhere else. Take a look.
When President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping meet in South Korea, their first face-to-face sit-down in more than 6 years, some 300 American families are hoping the American president will stand up for them and their kids.
This is 300 children's lives.
Amy Welch of Kentucky is a mother of 6. She and her husband Stephen have 4 biological sons and a 9-year-old daughter, Gracie, adopted from China in 2017 without a left hand or forearm. And then there is Penelope, now almost 12, who also faces serious medical issues and who was 5 when she began bonding with the Welches in 2019. After COVID struck, however, China, once America's leading source for foreign adoptions, halted its program, then shut it down in 2024. While the Welches, having developed a true bond with their daughter-to-be and having spent more than $30,000 to adopt her, waited.
For a couple of years, we were able to schedule video calls with her. We sent her birthday packages. We sent her a photo blanket that had pictures of my husband and myself and our other children, and a picture of her because we wanted her to have that sense of family. And we were told that she carries that blanket with her everywhere and says, "This is my mom and my dad. These are my brothers and my little sister."
President Biden, what's your message to China today?
A set of materials prepared by Hope Leads Home, the nonprofit Amy founded to represent the families, was submitted to aides of President Biden. But the U.S. took no meaningful action. Another stark change implemented by the Chinese government is now an estimated 98% of the children in the country's orphanages have severe disabilities or lifelong medical issues, and most will not get the medical care they would receive from their adoptive American parents.
That's really a beautiful gesture.
President Trump responded from the heart when King Abdullah II surprised him in February with word that Jordan was airlifting 2,000 children stricken with cancer and other illnesses from the Gaza Strip for medical treatment in Amman. And First Lady Melania Trump, who has a long history of working with sick kids, refugees, and other vulnerable children, recently announced that she has corresponded with Russian President Vladimir Putin about the fate of children displaced by the war in Ukraine.
We must foster a future for our children.
But in a conference call on September 26 of this year, a trio of State Department officials, led by Acting Deputy Assistant Secretary Elizabeth Graycon, told the families their voices were heard, but that China will not reverse their decision, and that the parents should therefore pursue other pathways to adoption. Yet the State Department also confirmed that no one from the U.S. has ever raised this issue with the Chinese government above the Deputy Secretary level.
We are asking now for intervention at the presidential level. We believe that President Trump is a skilled negotiator, and that if anyone who could bring Penelope and the other children home, it's President Trump.
A senior Trump administration official told Newsmax the White House, quote, cannot accept the Chinese government's decision to halt the adoption of these children who had already been matched with loving parents, and added, we continue to call on the Chinese government to allow the completion of these adoptions. But whether President Trump will raise this issue directly with President Xi, the White House wouldn't say. At the White House, James Rosen, Newsmax.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.